Hello friends, Running Kimono here. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about self-checkouts, downsizing, limited amount of items you can scan, and just all the stuff floating around on the news and social media right now about this specific issue. Because as extreme couponers, guess what? If a lot of us use these self checkouts, this is definitely going to affect us. So, if you have been following this, Walmart, Target, and Dollar General, those three retailers apparently, because of such a large amount of shoplifting and theft, that they want to, allow, only 10 items at self checkout, or stricter policies, or allowing employees only to scan your products at a self checkout bay or at a regular cash register, which is kind of like, especially at the Dollar General, they recently put in all of these self checkouts, and then just to take them back is like, how does that even make sense? Well, the theft must be really bad at these stores that they are implementing all of this for all the customers. And I strongly encourage you guys to go to reputable news sites to get the latest on these shopping trends at stores, because they're saying it's an experimental thing with these self checkouts, especially at Walmart. And I know that there was this crazy rumor at Walmart that you needed a Walmart Plus membership to use self checkout, and that is not the case. It was a rumor that started on TikTok that just became fact within a day, and that's almost scary and dangerous in itself. But I think one of the top brass over at Walmart dispelled that rumor, and that is not the case, that you need a Plus membership to use their self checkout. They're just implementing different things at that specific store. So, people are just not, scanning two items and walking out with a cart. Now, just to address the why, like, why is this happening? Obviously, customers are taking items, or, scanning a couple items and walking out with a cart full. And it must be happening at a lot of stores, obviously, if the three are doing this. And I think it has to go back to the manufacturers. The fact that during the pandemic, they, raised probably a lot of items by 50% of cost. We're extreme couponers, so we see the price increase every day. And I think these soaring prices of food and goods, this is the result of why a lot of people are just pocketing a couple items before they leave. And even myself, you guys know that I'm an avid penny shopper over at the Dollar General. And often I see like a half open can of soda or a bag of chips half eaten in the clearance section, hidden away. Somebody's hungry, something's happening. I really think the stores have to go to the manufacturers and say your prices are too high and this is why it's happening. They have to take a healthy look at that. It's not about all the evil self-checkout. I think it has to do with the cost of goods. My humble opinion, take it or leave it. A friend of mine recently snapped this photo and put it on her Instagram, couponing farm girl Janet. And at her Dollar General, they've now put little signage. Sorry, this is no longer a self checkout at the self checkout machine. So I don't know if they're going to just remove those bays with the scanners on them, or what's going to happen. But they put little signage saying do not use them. So the employees, usually it's a skeleton crew over the Dollar General, they're responsible for scanning everything. And that is a lot more work for them on top of everything else. And I mean, at the Dollar General, self checkout 50/50 worked, didn't work. That was always the case over there. So it's not a huge surprise to us. But at Target, where they're going to be limiting you to 10 items at self checkout, how is that going to affect your coupon game? If you're at the Dollar General trying to scan, 50 to 100 pennies, how is that going to affect your couponing game as well? That's all things that we have to consider. And I know that even as a personal shopper, if I was going to go into a Walmart to pick up a couple eggs for a recipe, or I needed to grab something quick, if they have two registers that open and you have to wait like in line for a really long time because you can't use self checkout, or they're trying to still navigate and figure out this thing of closing down self checkout, or what will happen. I mean, How is that going to work if you just want to do some convenient shopping, or if you're possibly in a place where you really don't want to have a conversation with somebody? If you're more of an introverted personality, there is a lot of, positives about the self checkout because you go into the store, grab your stuff, and leave. You don't have to talk to anyone, and that's the great thing about it. Um, I know recently my husband went into a store to grab a couple things, and he was having a hard time at the self checkout. And he got yelled at by one of the employees just because he wasn't sure what he was doing. I do the majority of all the shopping. He was just grabbing one quick item at Walmart with dinner. And he was like, I don't know how you do it because it was so frustrating. And these employees, I think, are overworked. They're responsible for everything, including now being a loss prevention at self checkout. It's quite a bit to throw onto their plate. I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are on this, guys. I think there's a lot of moving parts, and in the next couple months, we'll see how this pans out. Will a lot of us shop at stores that still allow self checkout, or is Dollar General, Target, and Walmart, if they just, really downsize it or really police it a lot more, are we going to stop shopping there at specifically the self checkout? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I think that something's got to give. It's just it's a weird time right now, and we'll have to see how this plays out. That's it for this video, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.